Jacob, today is a monumental fucking day in the United States history. Do you know why?
Because it is election day.
It is this is something I actually had to look up and confirm. Not only is it election day, this is the first time in a long fucking time that it has been on November 5th. Election day is the first Tuesday of every November. I don't remember the history behind it. It's something like daytime voting became a thing. So for whatever stupid reason we decided Tuesday, but like I had to check in the calendar to make sure like last year's was like the 7th or the 6th of November. A year before that, it was something different. Next year, it's going to be the 4th. But there's a specific little tune that goes along with November the 5th specifically. You know the one. You know the jingle.
Are you referring to remember the 5th of November?
I sure am.
Good. Because that's
You
the
know the
only
rest
one
of
I
it?
know. Oh, no, not off the top of my head, no.
Oh, damn it. Well, now I have to look it up. I think the rest of the lyrics are important. It's just that chilling remember the 5th of November thing is obviously the big one. Remember the Titans. Fuck that. I don't care about sports.
Same.
Uh, I don't know if the AI overview is correct. Nope, never mind. There's the nursery rhyme lyrics. Come on, wordsforlife.org.uk. Sure. Um, annual bonfire night. Yeah, I know the history. I can go over that later. Ah, here we go. Remember the 5th of November. Shit, ads. God damn it.
Gunpowder,
Holy fuck, what's
treason, and
happening?
plot, for there is a reason why gunpowder and treason should ne'er be forgot.
Yep. Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the king and the parliament. Three score barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence, he was catched with a dark lantern and a burning match. Holler boys, let the bells ring. Holler boys, God save the king.
Hmm.
Which is like one of the important lines that people forget because I don't know. I feel like when I hear remember the 5th of November, it's just a big political statement, but there's a lot more to it. Um, so today we're actually doing something entirely different. We're taking a minute to do a movie review
Hmm.
for 2005 V for Vendetta because of this special occasion.
Very, very special occasion indeed.
Elections are usually like I don't give a fuck about them anymore, but like the fact that this one falls on November 5th and just the oh my god, the things that are about to happen to everybody
The,
on this
sh-
day.
the
It's today,
sheer,
by the
like,
way.
the sheer buzz around this specific election um, is insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. I haven't heard this much buzz on an election since probably Obama. Like, that was probably the last time that I remember hearing as much and as powerful of, left and right opinions battling and shit like that as it is now. And it probably even more so now. Um, so
I
that's
think that
interesting. But
I think the first time that Trump was in office was, which was after Obama, was when I was hearing a lot of the buzz. But this current President Joe Biden, him going up against Donald Trump, it seemed like it was a no-brainer that we're not going to put Trump back in, of course, and we didn't. But everyone hates Sleepy Joe,
yep.
so that's about over, and we're getting into a new era, which God knows what that means for us.
Yeah.
There
It's
might
gonna
not be an us after today.
yeah, it's gonna be a weird it's gonna be a weird situation no matter which way it goes. And I think it's gonna be uncomfortable for a lot of people no matter which way it goes.
Yeah,
And probably more so extreme on one side than the other, but like yikes, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
but today is November the 5th,
Yes it
and we will
is.
remember this November day because everyone should be watching or reading V for Vendetta on this day because it takes place on this day and it takes place over the span of a year. So maybe we'll see the White House blown up in a year from today. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to talk about with this movie? Because I could give a whole lecture on the comic. I've read it only once, but I did a little reviewing before this, and of course, we've both watched V for Vendetta now.
Yeah,
Again,
I for a while watched it every November 5th. I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters at least. If I didn't see it in theaters, I seen it shortly after theaters. Because I remember seeing it when it first came out and it was everywhere. And I remember once I got on Facebook, it was probably like 2008 or something, a couple years after the movie came out. Like V for Vendetta shit was posted all over the place.
yep.
It was nuts, you know. But yeah, this movie's fucking wild. We got Natalie Portman and um, is it John Hart? He plays the Chancellor, I believe.
You're gonna make me look it up.
There's a ton of big
But,
names in this, but it's nuts, dude. It's a good movie. It's a damn good movie. Very, very important. I kind of fell off the last couple of years just because things have been so hectic around this time for me and just where my life has been. So I haven't gotten a chance to watch it the last few years, but I just watched it today, actually. And yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, it's scary in a more philosophical sense than it is like a horror, because it's not really a horror movie, but it's like
no.
it comes off as a very realistic I don't know, theme in where we are today, you know, and where our
Yeah,
government has been since the dawn of time. You know, it's just always been this way.
it
And it's
does
just
because it's a statement, and it's supposed to be futuristic. So the movie takes place in 2020, but the original comic takes place, I think, in like 1990. It's a very, very like not distant future, but it is still supposed to be not post-apocalyptic. What's the word I'm looking for? Dystopian. It's still supposed to be dystopian, but made off of predictions that were happening in the political sense during the time.
yeah.
So this movie specifically, what's different from the comic is a lot of shit. I'm not going to go into all of it, but for this time period, it seems like it's a more Americanized movie. Alan Moore, the original, and David Lloyd, the authors of V for Vendetta. Alan Moore didn't put his name on this. He fucking hated the movie. He said this is rubbish.
Hmm.
For good reason. This movie's still great, but he didn't want to put his name on anything ever since the Magic Order came out, and he saw that that was a trash. But fuck, where was I going with it? Yeah, what was happening in the early 2000s was this is a movie that's supposed to kind of be pointing fingers at the Bush administration.
Hmm. Yeah. And honestly, it could probably point fingers at a lot of administrations, to be honest. But
Yeah, yeah, but
uh,
just during that time, that's what was happening in the
if
world, or at
if not
least our world.
if not most administrations, because like a good majority, if not all of them, are corrupt as fuck. And I think they
Oh
only
yeah,
have like very select few um, agendas that they want, and they'll do whatever they can to enact those agendas. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, one way or another, there's just corruption all throughout any administration that enters an office of any kind, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird because I was thinking about this the other day. Voting in general, it seems like is the government's way of giving you a voice, right? But
yeah,
that voice can easily just be turned off by the electoral college.
yeah.
It's like,
Electoral colleges and lobbyists exist in this
yeah,
country,
we
so
want you guys to have a voice, so cast your ballot or whatever. And then they're like, well, we didn't really like that, so just put a muzzle on or something. I don't want to hear it. So I mean, your voice is, and this sounds like I'm enacting violence, but I'm not. I promise. Maybe I am. I don't know. Who cares? But your voice
the whole
is
movie's about.
your voice is strong, sure, but your hand is mighty. Like, do something about it. Don't
Yes,
fucking say something. Fucking do something. You know.
that's
And
a yeah,
I mean, it's true. That's true. Because like, I don't believe in enacting violence if like unnecessary. But like, we're to a point now where like the events of V for Vendetta seem more realistic than they ever
It-
have. You know.
yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. But
Well, so the basic plot outlines we haven't really explained that all that much is this masked figure wearing a Guy Fawkes mask specifically shows up under the codename V, who blows up. What's the first building he blows up? I don't remember the name of it.
I don't remember.
Well, in the comic, he blows up Parliament at the beginning, but Parliament is the end goal in the movie to blow up. He blows up this building as a symbol for bringing down the government because they're living in a time where fascism and totalitarianism is huge in the government. So the people have no say. There was a lot of stuff going on in the 1980s, especially in London, in the UK.
The Central Criminal Court,
Okay.
also known as the Old Bailey.
The Old Bailey, that's what it's called in this. He blows that up, and he takes on sort of an apprentice who acts as more of a love interest in the movie, which is Natalie Portman's character, Evie Hammond. And over the course of a year, V is getting revenge and also bringing down important figures for the head of the government, which is a committee who also have code names like the eyes of London, the ears, the nose, the mouth, so the voice, the people who hear everything, do surveillance, shit like that. It's a really intricate art form of doing that. And by the end of it, the whole point is to try and get the people to rise up against their government and to take back control.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that in a way.
Yep. People should not fear their government. The government should fear their people.
That's a fucking banger of a line.
That
But that's
shit right
also
there
something.
slaps.
So that to me, when I hear that, and the differences between the movie and the comic, the biggest one is that because that sounds more like democracy than anarchy, and it's supposed to portray anarchy. You wouldn't know what anarchy was if you just watched the movie. The comic does a fucking beautiful way of showing it, and Alan Moore has come out as like a belligerent anarchist. He's like, people should have all the power and they should be in control of their own destinies. So there's that on the table.
I mean, I would rather that than. I mean, I don't know. I think democracy is good if it's actually like being followed. If it's actually
Yeah, it has
if
to
it's
work.
actually a fucking democracy. But it doesn't seem like that's where we are or ever have been. So
No, it's
I
not.
don't
But
know.
it also takes active participants to do that. So like if at the end of the movie reminded me of when everyone was on that fucking Facebook petition to go and raid Area 51
Yeah.
and no one showed up. You know what happened if 100,000 people showed up in Guy Fawkes masks to the fucking Area 51?
They
They
all-
may have walked through. Maybe. Probably not.
No,
They'd probably
they
get
would
shot.
have all gotten shot. Yeah.
Well,
It would have been a big fucking statement that Facebook post that was made as a joke like turned out to be like a legitimate thing. I remember there was talks of like food vendors and shit and live music supposed to be showing up to that because of how many people were supposed to show up. That was nuts.
and one person ran past the newscaster or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you need a bunch of active participants to try and make a change, and I don't know if that's true or not. It happens in history, not often, especially nowadays where everyone I think is more docile. People get really angry and they'll go and like blow some shit up, burn some shit down, beat some people up, but like
I think it's because people have grown into a mentality of not wanting to get involved. Like,
yeah.
I think people have grown into a state of, oh, well, it's not something that I have to worry about, so I'm not going to do anything about it. This is
Yeah.
something that is going to be done by powers above me, beyond me, or my neighbors are going to do it, or my friends are going to do it, or my I don't know, my Facebook friends are going to do it. I don't have to do this, so I'm not going to do it.
Or there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, and that would be cool if that was true, but all of your neighbors and your Facebook friends and your family and shit are also saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So
That exact phenomenon you're describing is called the bystander effect.
yeah, and then no one does
Right.
anything.
No one's going to do anything because everyone's thinking, well, someone else will come along and do something.
Yeah.
You have to be an advocate for change. Everyone has to do it. You have to do these things. You have to participate.
Don't be an advocate for change. Be a vessel for change. Fucking do that shit, man. Like I said, your voice is strong,
Yeah.
but your hand is mighty, dude. Fucking put your fingers into the pie. Just fucking do it. Go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Because people can tell you you have a voice within your government all you want, but when have we ever learned that that's true? Ever?
A couple times, but not like not in
Not
recent
towards anything.
times.
Not towards anything meaningful. Because
Brother,
here
do you
we
know what the
are.
civil rights movement was?
Yeah, now look at us. We're all fighting over civil rights.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
like what the fuck? It was good. Like that was meaningful change, sure, but that was a stone throw away from what we could have gotten if things just played out what they like. If we ended up getting what we wanted from that, and that is equal rights for everybody, equal human rights for everybody, whether you're black or white or Asian or whatever, gay, straight, then we wouldn't be sitting where we are now. So yes, we got people to hear everything, and we got people to understand that that was like what we wanted. But you still have a bunch of fucking weasels sitting in their houses that are racist cunts that are just like absolute dastardly Dans, man. That just they don't deserve to have the life that they have. And then they're like arguing in comments on Facebook about how civil rights was done years ago. Civil rights was done years ago. We already established that. We already got that for what we wanted. But they don't understand that we're still back in a situation, or never got out of a situation, where those people still don't have equal rights.
Yeah, no, internal bias is still very, very real, and
Yeah.
we still have like even
We may be
even
closer
now,
than we were, but we're not there.
yeah, we've got women afraid of having women in charge. Like, what sort of fucking backwards
Yeah.
patriarchy nonsense are we a part of?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Which
But
change also takes a long time to work through. Like it's not just something like the civil rights movement. It's not something that you even we signed it off. It is illegal now to discriminate. Guess what? Still
here we
going
are.
on
Yep.
because people can still be fucking dickheads all they want. So it's not easy to change the minds of so many people over such a short amount of time.
Yeah. It's a lot easier
Which is
said than done, too. I mean, like getting one extremely racist bigot piece of shit to understand that that's wrong is almost a miracle in itself, let alone like all the ones that are in the country. So I don't know, it's fucking crazy. I don't even know what the solution would be, to be honest.
extinction.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what the solution would be that would keep us all still standing.
Oh, got me beat, man.
I just want everybody to win. I want people to stop being shitty to people. Like, come on,
Right?
is that really fucking too hard to ask? Who
Well,
cares?
the golden rule is always active, and it's treat people how you want to be treated. And it's a really fucking few simple words, but people are still so shitty. I don't get it. Like sometimes I treat people bad when I'm having a bad day, and that's wrong of me. But usually, like I've been able to turn it around a bit more. But I like when I go out in public and people treat me differently for like my height or how I look, and it just fucking rocks me to my core, and it changes how I look at myself as a person. I don't want anyone to ever feel like that.
No.
So I don't make them feel like that just because of how they look different or even how they think different. Even if someone thinks wildly different, I'm usually asking questions to see why.
Yeah. I'm not saying that like world peace and solving world hunger and shit is the answer to everything, because like obviously you're gonna have that stuff no matter what your government is. I mean, you're just gonna have those things. It's inevitable. It's an inevitable a part of just the way the world works. Like it happens. It's going to happen, and that's fine. Literally all I'm asking from anybody that's listening at all is to just stop being shitty to people. Like, who cares who you sleep with? Who the fuck cares if you want a dick or a vagina instead of what you were born with? Like, no one cares. Just do what you want to do, and let people do what they're gonna do. It's not fucking hurting you. It's not causing anybody else any issues other than themselves. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
Yeah. That,
If and also the thing that blows my mind is when like a lot of that stuff gets confused for like political instances. You know, that's political stuff, but it's not. That's a social issue that like we as a society just need to just stop doing. It shouldn't have anything to do with politics at all. Like it's insane. It's insane to me. It's fucking
Yeah.
gross. But
So this is actually a good transition. Do you know who Margaret Thatcher is slash was?
that
She's not.
yes,
I don't think she's dead.
I think so. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher was the previous prime minister in London,
Okay. Oh
and
yeah, yeah. Okay.
so at the time of writing V for Vendetta, the first issue of it was published in 1982, and it went on until like 1988 or something. It may have gone on a little bit longer than that. But the 80s were what was considered post-Holocaust UK because they didn't start teaching about the Holocaust until the late 70s.
I was gonna say that
And
should happen in the '60s, didn't it? Or '40s.
no, it happened
'40s.
in the
Yeah,
40s.
'40s. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it
I had
wasn't.
a dyslexic moment there for a second.
Yeah, Britain didn't really acknowledge it until the early 70s, which was a big fucking problem. And they
Yeah, that's
still
terrible.
they're still they started recognizing it after Thomas Keneally wrote Schindler's Ark, which was then turned into Schindler's List about 10 years later. I think it was actually published in 1983. But before that, Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister, she's known as the Iron Lady because she had such a strong will and she would take no shit from anybody.
Hmm.
She also was part of the reason why there were government trucks with surveillance cameras running around. She was also one that started the talk of possible concentration camps for gay people. Yeah, so
Yikes.
gay rights were one of the most massive proponents of why the book was written, and you get to see more of that in the film adaptation than you do in the comic itself. So
Yeah. A
crazy
couple
that
instances actually in the movie.
what?
There's a couple instances in the movie actually. That's cool.
Yeah, there are the radio or not radio the TV show host. He was a closeted homosexual, but
Yep.
in the comic he is Evie's secret lover. Also, Evie is 16 in the comic. And she is very young and novice. She is a prostitute, and she doesn't know a whole lot about the world. She's not like Natalie Portman's version, where she's like a young adult, very well read, has a job at news center.
Yeah. And there's also the women from the experiment lab as well.
Yeah. Well, oh shit, what was her name? I don't remember it, but I think she was she one of the people that was growing the roses?
I think so.
I believe that she was, but that's also a really, really beautiful moment in the movie and the book because the book stretches it out just a little bit longer. So I'm always going to advocate for the comic book over the movie, but yeah, in the movie, V has set up this elaborate scheme that has placed Evie in a
Valerie.
jail, Valerie, and shaved her head, and he leaves in her jail cell the same piece of parchment. It's written on toilet paper, the same biography, little memoir bit that you just said her name. I've forgotten it
Valerie.
already. That Valerie wrote
Starts
in
with
her
V.
time of being in the cell next to V, because they try to play up the superhero thing a little bit more in the movie.
Yeah, and
But
I think they were going through the early 2000s superhero craze that was happening because it definitely has that little bit of superhero ness to the whole thing. But
yeah, well, he had to be like it gave the burning and the experiment that they did at St. Mary's was supposed to give him like basically superhuman abilities, which were just the super strength, stamina, and all that.
yeah,
But yeah, he was locked up in there. He blows himself out. But the note that Valerie leaves at the end of it, what I love is so much is those words like, "I don't know who you are. I've never met you. I will never meet you or see you. But I want you to know that I love you."
yeah,
That almost makes me cry.
and
It's so
she
good.
kept it too. Evie's character keeps that shit. She's like, I'm taking
Yep.
this with me.
Yeah.
And then she tells V after he reveals that he's the one that's been keeping her there this whole time. Well, what the fuck? I'm not keeping it anymore. It was fake. And then he shows her a whole mural of pictures of Valerie.
Yeah,
And
and
she's like, oh
it's
shit,
movie
she was real.
posters too from the film that she starred in.
Yep, that's pretty cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah, a whole little oh, what's that called? Damn, what's
Shrine,
that called? When you have like
memorial.
a memorial, yeah, a memorial to her.
Yeah. Um. Also,
We
the movies, the TV host, the show host, he also uh got killed for having the Quran in his
yeah.
thing as well. That was another big like, oh fuck. Like
Two of
he's
the
not even Muslim at all. He just had a copy of the Quran because he thought it was beautiful the way that it was written and the imagery and poetry inside of it, and just for owning it, he got killed. They
two
originally
of
were
the
just going to arrest him, but once they found that, they killed him.
Yep, and
So
he gets killed in that same fashion too in the comic because it shows you exactly what happened to Evie's parents, but through him. So she has to relive that again, which is really fucked up. But
oof,
big inspiration for the comic and the movie, now that I'm definitely seeing it, came from Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 and Alex Huxius's Brave New World, which I thought it was shit, but I just read it. It was a difficult fucking read. But it has that same sort of like, this is where the world's going to go. We're not going to educate people anymore. Books are banned. That's why V has so many in his shadow gallery home,
yeah.
which
What
is
a
awesome. I want
what
my
a
house to look
yeah.
like
I was gonna
that.
say what a sick ass house, dude.
Like this, but I just want stacks of books everywhere. I mean, the books are
Yeah,
neatly organized in the library, but like it's like this, but with just fucking pieces of art and everything.
yeah, it'd be
That's
lit.
the other thing when he's like, "Oh, did you steal all this art? Stealing implies ownership. I merely reclaimed it."
Yeah, exactly.
What a banger.
Just a fucking. He should be called G for Vendetta, dude.
He should be called J for Jesus.
Nah,
This
G's
is the
for
Holy
God
Spirit.
damn. This boy fucking out here, dude.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then it also goes into the moment of where everyone's starting to get it. They're like, oh shit, let's do this thing, and they all put on the masks and stuff, which he mailed out to everybody, right? He mailed out like hundreds of thousands of masks to everybody and
That he
capes and
did.
shit, and they all put them on and whatnot. And it's showing like people are starting to understand. Oh, we need to like rise the fuck up and do something about this. They adorn the masks, of course, and then they start marching and shit. And the government has no qualms about who's under those masks. They're gonna fire anyway until eventually they're like, no, 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 we just need to let this happen because we're done. We've been defeated. So we are severely outnumbered.
Yeah, they have no orders, so they don't do anything.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the so the scene with the dominoes is obviously like super important, and some they actually had professional domino makers or maker whatever they are, domino stackers, whatever the fuck you call them. They came in and actually set all that up, and it took forever, which I think is funny when you just see someone knock all that shit down. I hope it
Yeah.
was worth all the time and effort.
That's why
I
they put
think
them up
he
is to knock them
I
down.
think he builds something different in the comic, but I'm not fucking finding the panel for it. But he makes a big V
Hmm.
in the movie and knocks it all down, and then takes out the one tile, and that goes with him in his funeral.
Yep.
Which I still don't know what it means. Something poetic for sure. I don't know what it means.
He was the catalyst that started the whole.
Or is it the last one standing?
But he's not.
He's taking himself out of the equation.
He's the first one down.
Dude, V is my dad. V is my mom. V is you.
V is
He's
me.
me.
Yeah.
He's all of us. That's different in the comic. So in the comic, Evie takes over as V,
Hmm.
which
Does
adds
she
to
not
the
at the
layer.
end?
Nope.
Hmm.
Nope. She just walks off with what's his nuts,
Hmm.
the
Okay.
detective. Which I don't remember everybody's name. Everyone has a different role in the comic as well.
Hmm.
And I think it's either the guy at the end of the movie or it's Creedy who actually takes LSD to try and hunt down V because he says like I have to descend into this place of madness to get inside the head of this killer, this terrorist, to go find him. And he does.
That's just
Still
an
gets
excuse
his
to use
ass
LSD.
killed.
Come on now.
Still gets killed. But yeah, the end of the comic is Evie taking over as V, which just further exemplifies the idea of you can kill a man but not his ideas.
Yeah.
Which I think is the direct quote in the book.
Yeah.
In the movie, top notch.
In the movie, they also talk about how like, you can't hold an idea, you can't kiss an idea.
Yeah.
And so forth.
And he says ideas are bulletproof. That's the line in the movie.
Mm.
And then he reveals that he's had the armor plate on from his little knight thing.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
What a G. What a G for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What a goat.
What a goat. What a goat. Anyway.
What else can we say about this?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you
Anything
have any closing thoughts on that? Because I know you said you wanted to keep this one kind of short, but...
Yeah, I did, just because people aren't going to watch through this half-hour video when there's a million other things going on right now. Well, it's one very important thing going on that feels like probably a million things coming down. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe no one gives a fuck and it'll all just subside. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess we'll find out after today.
Yeah. But yeah, this is still a great movie, even though Alan Moore didn't like it. I think it's more Americanized and not specifically Britain like he wanted it to be. But you can also read the comic, and I think everyone that I've talked to about the movie is like, yes, this is one of the greatest fucking movies of all time. And then I read the comic first, and then watched the movie, and I thought, holy shit, the comic blows this shit out of the fucking water. So, read it or watch it, but you have to do it today. Today is the only day that you can do it.
Yep. Not allowed on any other days.
Yep.
Also, if you have a Prime subscription, it's currently free, so check that out.
Is it really?
Yep.
Well, shit, I had to pay for it and rent it a while back.
It's free right now.
Get the Steelbook version.
No. I won't be doing that.
Yeah, remember that buildings are symbols. They can be destroyed, but that is also a symbol of destruction. And the way anarchy works, according to Alan Moore, is that someone has to tear down the industry, and the people are still responsible for building it back up. It's not no government, it's government in the people's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that. Don't go out and just fucking burn down buildings to make a statement.
You gotta build it up.
Why we're here. If you can rebuild it, that'd be really funny. Someone just blows it up and they go, all right, now what? Well, we got to put it back up. Oh.
I don't know anything about construction.
I know about destruction. Oh, you mean I just made a fertilizer pipe bomb? I don't know anything else about building shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be an active member in your society. Okay, you have to take a. That's like you have technically for right now anyway. You have the right. Freedom of speech. Freedom to vote.
You have the right.
Yeah. Be an active participant in something and be a proponent of change.
Yep.
Make strong statements. Hopefully they're not stupid. I feel like I'm going to accidentally tell someone to do something really dumb and regrettable.
I mean, somebody's going to interpret this the wrong way and do something dumb and regrettable anyway, but...
Yeah. We'll get removed from YouTube forever for causing a terrorist movement.
Either that or, I mean, one of the thousands of videos about V for Vendetta is going to be taken out of context and done stupid things with, so.
Yeah. Watch the movie, read the book. They're both great. And God save the king.
Shut the fuck up. You can't say that right now.
Yes, I can.
No,
what do you mean? Why not?
You're not allowed to right now. We have a situation on our hands in this election day.
We have a situation on our hands.
Olympus has fallen. Oh man. Anyway, all right.
That's down.
That's enough. That is enough. Anyway,
Fine.
Go check it out. We'll see you next time. Make sure you let us know down in the comments what you think and what your ideals are on this whole subject and who you're voting for. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell us that. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.